Ah, hello. Kuzampo.
Sorry to disturb you in the busy schedule, Rimpoche.
No. I'm just having a dinner down there with some guests. So all good. Don't worry.
How was your day, Rimpoche?
My day is good. I just got back from the gym. Oh my goodness, what is that?
That's kind of a welcome head for Rimpoche.
Oh no. Okay. Okay.
Rimpoche, I just asked Rimpoche to join my live because I think I wanted to ask few questions, like not more questions, only few questions, according to the Buddha relic in Buddha Point, and also I've learned my few days with Rimpoche when I was around with Rimpoche. That's why Rimpoche, how do you feel about the relic in Buddha Point and in Bhutan? How do you feel after that now?
I felt overwhelming because there was a lot of phone call and preparation, and it was a lot of preparation in last minute, and then I had 2 weeks to prepare all of that. Earlier plan was to bring from India, but then that didn't work out, and due to some other reasons, so I had to bring the relic from France, and there was a phone call, meetings online, and finally bringing able to Bhutan. For our Father and the kingdom, and then also, having the grace of His Majesty, and then all the royal family members, Kukor. It is, and then also, devotion in the faith of almost 200,000 people, 240,000 people. I had that report today. And the last day I was on tears. I was really crying because it was too much for me to take in. You understand what I mean? Because there's a lot of things going on, and then at the end, I was reading some teachings with, Guru calling Lama from afar, prayer and the church practice with Sula Lepa Rinpoche that evening, on the third day evening in Kunsapota. And then while I was doing the Guru Yoga prayer and before the church practice, I was in tears. I was like, finally, all the people who came with so much devotion got a seeing liberation, and older generation got a seeing liberation, younger generation got a Buddhist identity in themselves, because most of the time it's like my lineage, my tradition, my teacher. So the Buddha relic is a universal identity and the origin for all of us. And being able to observe that, and it was above and beyond, let's put it like this. And I don't think I can do like this again. Just to give you the scenario.
But Rinpoche, it was amazing blessing from Rinpoche's side, and it was real. Since I've been around Rinpoche, I heard the conversation saying it was so difficult to bring things back in Bhutan for the relic here, but everything very peaceful, and because of the blessing and the prayer from His Majesty and everyone, and I'm so proud to say that we got part to be with Rinpoche this time, and I really felt in the East also I met lots of people around there saying it was amazing, never thought this kind of opportunity to come in Bhutan, and that's a big blessing from Rinpoche.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like the main reason that for me to inspire this relic idea is that I was in the East 1.5 years ago. And then during that time, I saw so many people with great devotion and faith. And some people were sitting in the rain while I was giving the embalmment. Even it was raining, they were sitting. And then there was a 99-year-old lady waiting on the side of the road to get a glimpse of me. And then, that time you realize, you are nobody. You are nobody. But these people, they have a faith in Buddha Dharma, and it's beyond you, and then when that thought really sinks in, and you tell yourself you need to do more than this, you need to bring something. So when I was in France, I was, the Union Buddhists of France, they said, Rinpoche, we would like to give you the honor to hold a relic because it's your birthday. And then that time I said, if I can hold it and see it and receive a blessing, and why not the people of Bhutan? So that's how it unfolded, the idea of the relic.
Rinpoche, I have seen, the 3 days Buddha points blessing. I even see Rinpoche has lots of, pain and tired, but still then Rinpoche never gave up. Keep on, giving blessing to people. But Rinpoche, you yourself is very humble. Honestly, I'm an ex-monk, and I've also worked with a few Rinpoches, but it was tough to work, but to work with Rinpoche, it was a little easier, and to learn many things from Rinpoche's side. Yesterday, when we went to Waide, where the Pema thing, Rinpoche was teaching about, there will be people coming and hurting, things will get lots of bitterness in your life. That was something that it clicked me, but if Rinpoche can share a little bit about that.
I don't want to lose my job over that. Because what I shared over there was a confidential, because it was more like the raw experience that I had in my life. What I share with the public, the general public, it has a little bit of filter, so that nobody's offended, nobody's upset, nobody feels like, oh, what is he talking about? But over there, in that rehab center, which is initiated by Her Majesty, in that facility, I find that some of them, they are in that position, not necessarily they made the decision to be there. They were there because of the surrounding circumstance. Some of them are innocent, and some of them are just going through a depression and loneliness. And then they, take that as in the last resort. Whether, individual over there or just in general, I think it's very important for everybody to be humble and transparent with your principle. I think it's very important. And as a Rinpoche, when you're born in the Buddhist world, you have the sense of culture that, oh, you're Rinpoche, you're Rinpoche, you're Rinpoche, you're this and that. That's my experience. But then again, when you travel in the West, if you really want to help people, then you have to help people based on what they're going through, sense of depression, sense of loneliness, sense of grief, and anxiety. And then as a Buddhist practitioner, if you cannot relate and help them in the West, in that scale, in that level, you are irrelevant. Nobody gives a damn about, you are how many reincarnation you are. Like, can you help their depression? Can you help their addiction? Can you help their, their sense of grief or loss in their life? Or loneliness or isolation? Are you able to help these conditions? If you can help these conditions, and then you become more devoted to Buddha Dharma, then they think, oh, how did you discover that wisdom? How did you discover that solution? Then I say, it's not my solution, it's the Buddha Dharma's teaching right there. I just repackage it and present to you in a different way. But when you engage yourself and travel around the world, I'm not trying to make people think that I'm so humble and I'm so great and I'm compassionate. I'm not trying to project that. It's just, if you're a Buddhist practitioner, you need to be authentic, you need to be sincere, you need to be transparent. If you add too much filter in between, you cannot help people. Because how do you help people? You have to relate to them. If you cannot relate to them, how can you help them?
Yes. It's very nice, Rinpoche, sharing many good thoughts. But Rinpoche, I think since I myself also I shared to Rinpoche also going anxiety and also going through the mental health. How can we help young people to come over mental health?
I think when you say mental health, it is a very wide spectrum. And then there's many causes and the condition of that. But the one thing that we need to start is that you need to believe in yourself. No matter how difficult you are going through, you need to believe in yourself that you can survive today, you can survive tomorrow, you can survive next week, you can survive next month, you can survive next year. You need to keep on pushing like that. And that's the strong mental commitment and the condition you need to develop. In order to develop that sense of resilience, you need to do a little bit of meditation. Oh, look at my hand. Oh my, so cool. Yeah, so you need to do a little bit of meditation, and the meditation is more like a shamatha meditation, breathing exercise, many people who are going through anxiety and then or a sense of depression is due to a self-centered attitude, which is, everybody is bound to face that kind of a suffering anyway. But the only way to overcome is not in alcohol, not in substance, not by traveling all the time, not by finding a new partner all the time, but rather having a sense of resilience and a little bit of awareness in mind. And then you can have much more freedom in life. And if you have a good reflection of yourself, and then you will be a good reflection to others. So you need to have a good reflection. And in order to have that reflection, you need to have a strong mind. And then you need to believe that you can survive today, you can survive tomorrow, you can survive next year in that sense. So that's very important. And the meditation is important, the yoga is important. And what you consume and how you look after your body is very important. And it's a combination of all,
Yes. I think, Rimpoche, I have not asked Rimpoche to join my TikTok to ask question and answer, but I was overwhelmed to be around with Rimpoche and learn many things. Rimpoche yourself is very much outgoing. I mean, I've been openness. You're really open. You make us feel comfortable to be nearby you, and that was something that I was so happy about that. And one thing is, Rimpoche, you are really passionate of going to gym. Whenever Rimpoche get time, you run to gym. Why Rimpoche?
Because I was I was overweight. I was obese for almost like from 2010 to 2021. I was kind of obese. I was like 125 kilos. And because of my, chuba, it was covering everything, It was not showing any shape. But then, like my responsibility requires a lot of patience and the longevity. What is the point of doing all the hard work with a virtuous mind if you cannot look after yourself, So it's like a sinking boat. So, and then also I teach yoga. So if you have a big belly and then tell people yoga is good for you, they will say, come on, look at himself. He doesn't even have a shape. Like, why would I learn from him? Definitely the yoga is not helping him. So, the yoga is more related to Vajrayana Buddhist yoga. I don't mean the Hatha yoga, the Indian tradition. So that's also another reason. And
because I went to gym for 2 years. I thought I want to look nice, do very well, but I couldn't keep up that spirit. It was so difficult for me.
It's okay. It's okay.
And Rimpoche, I have one small kind of a request. Rimpoche, you are very good in Shalchokpa, no, Rimpoche?
No, don't. I'm not good in Shashokpa Silimancha.
Rimpoche, always when there was someone, Rimpoche, I also mentioned you when Rimpoche was blessing people. I was trying to hold Rimpoche from behind. People comments that Rimpoche was trying to fly and Kelvin was holding back. I was just wondering who was that. But I just wanted to, it was a blessing to be part of this relic, and I think our people are all blessed by Rimpoche. You are, I think, when many people have wanted to know who is Kalu Rimpoche and everything. And last night, I even don't know many things about Rimpoche, and I went through YouTube. I went through lots of Facebook page, and I tried to find out many things about Rimpoche. I was really surprised how amazing person you are, Rimpoche.
No, it's okay, sir. By the way, just for your defense, Karma, Kelvin, you were holding my robe on my behind, not because I was trying to fly away. It's because it was so much wind. It was cold. In the morning, the sun was coming to my face. In the afternoon, the wind was coming to my face, and then it was blowing from the side. So, Karma Kelvin, just on your defense, like you were holding it because of the wind was keep on pushing from the back, from the side. That's why you were holding it.
But Rimpoche, after the Buddha railing, I saw Rimpoche trying to relax, but so much people visiting you. But Rimpoche, how do you feel now? You feel relaxed more after this huge, big events?
Yeah, I mean, I had a good night's sleep yesterday, finally, because the day before yesterday, I was giving a teaching share or doing an online class with the Buddhist Society of London, and that lasted from midnight to 2 o'clock in the morning. And so because I have to follow their office time and make sure everybody can come together, so that's that.
But Rimpoche, not the last one question, not a question, advice. What advice can you give to a young generation now?
Young generation, I think there will be always a competition in whichever the career that you may choose. There will be always a jealousy. There will be always a betrayal whether it's a relationship, whether it's a marriage, whether it's a job, whether it's a family, or with your co-worker. That will always happen. So, and then on the top of that, whatever happens, just don't try to fall into substance using, negative use of substance, all that. Just try to avoid that. I understand that many of young people want to enjoy and go out and everything. I understand that you should absolutely do it, but try to do it in a little bit of moderation. Try to look after your health. Try to be responsible of your own actions. Try to develop a little bit of kindness to yourself. Try to do a little bit of meditation in the morning or in the evening. You don't have to be super religious. Try to be sincere time to time. Because right now, with all the virtual world, everything is a lot of filters and a lot of everything. What it seems is not what it appears to be. There's a lot of barrier and layers to it. So you have to be strong and be compassionate a little bit, be kind a little bit, be sincere a little bit, and be realistic, most important of all. Always be realistic and try to avoid the superstitious ideas, and then be human. Be human and be aware of your own emotion. There's nothing more beautiful than a human being who has awareness of his own emotion. So having awareness of your own emotion gives you more liberation. Even you say that I'm not Buddhist, it's fine. Like it. You don't have to go to the temple all the time. You don't have to wear different clothes to show that you are religious. But having awareness of your own emotion can give you a lot of liberation and peace. So I think that is something you should focus a little bit, regardless of whatever you may be going through. And I wish you nothing but the best.
Yes. Last Rimpoche, I just asked Rimpoche, I went live 1 hour back. I said to people that I have requested Rimpoche to come for a few minutes from your busy schedule, and Rimpoche did that. Thank you for people will, if I have lied, people will not trust me later. Rimpoche is coming to my life. Finally Rimpoche came taking. But Rimpoche, I was going to go live next with our sister Rinchen about the languages. But Rimpoche, I asked you in Buddha Point, Rimpoche, what language do you speak most? But Rimpoche says that your language is like a thali.
Yeah, a little bit like a thali, where I speak whatever needs to be spoken, but I'm trying to improve my Dzongkha because I was away from Bhutan, re-establishing my own Dharma centers for the last 14 years. And then my Dzongkha and my Shasho went a little bit downhill. So I need to meet more our fellow Bhutanese people to improve my my core language, So, but I understand, I know you must be busy and you might want to, do other things with your live streaming. But I wanted to say to our live participant that Karma Kelvin is doing a wonderful job for doing a lot of humanitarian. And Bhutan is compared to other country, it's a small country, it's a smaller population. Everybody knows everybody. But yet Karma Kelvin does a lot of things that people, where they don't want to look at, they don't want to discuss about it, they don't want to talk about it. Karma Kelvin does a lot of social work, and please support him, because he says it and he does it. and then he keeps everything transparent in terms of his management. So I like that about him. That's why I invited him to be part of the Buddha Relic Committee and the Buddha Point event and so on. So please continue to support him and to donate to his project, whatever it is. And myself, as a Bhutanese individual, I'm always here to support all of you, whether it's a spiritual, whether it's charity in the long run. And the Karma Kelvin is also very much acknowledged by His Majesty and Her Majesty, all his effort. So he's not doing this for his fame or his self-interest. He's doing this because there's not so many other people who does what he does. So please continue to support not just his live streaming, but support his projects as he keeps everything up to date and so on. And I just wanted to say that as a conclusion from my side, a little bit.
Thank you, Rimpoche, for such a wonderful blessing and such a warm blessing for me. And it is really much, I don't think that that's last time I said that in my darkness, I went through lots of difficulties. When I did this 6 years back, people criticized, did lots of things to me. But when I got open door to His Majesty and Queen and King, my heaviness from my neck has gone away. That was something that I was being blessed. And Rimpoche, before you go, Rimpoche, is there anything, small short sentence from Shachokpa and Entla?
No, Shachokpa Selemancha.
Rimpoche, now cutting chilla, I don't know my cutting chilla.
Less. Thank you. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Animchi Rimpoche openness, Animchi Rimpoche, Machinite in the Dimchi Sunlight of Scarinche, Sishula, the Animchi Zenamid of Scarinche, Machira Garaberu, Rangi Donka Emidi, Noxam de Jimka, Dizumbigo, Nopskache,